week on the road. The Brewers are finally back at home, Miller Park in Milwaukee. We're getting ready for a 7-game homestand. The Brewers went 3-4 on the road trip through Cincinnati and Miami. There was plenty of action for fans to follow. Ryan Braun, well, he can hit anywhere, at home or on the road. Braun is riding an 11-game hitting streak. Over that stretch, he's hitting .447 and 10 RBIs for Braun. The Brewers looking to continue their success against the Padres. The Crew able to take 5 of 7 last year against San Diego. Tonight it will be Jimmy Nelson leading the Crew on the mound against the right-hander James Shields. And the Padres may be coming in as one of the hotter teams in baseball. They were able to sweep the Cubs yesterday in Chicago in a doubleheader and handed the Cubs their first back-to-back losses of the season, winning 2 of 3. I'm Sophia Minnaert. We're getting ready for the first game of this 4-game set between the Brewers and the Padres, but the Brewers made a roster move today. They have activated second baseman Scooter Gennett. It was a short time for him on the disabled list with a right oblique injury. Just 15 days for him, and instead they have optioned Yadiel Rivera to AAA Colorado Springs. Craig Counsell saying the move was necessary for Rivera, who is hitting just .196 over 17 games with the Crew. They look for him to benefit from everyday playing time.
Thoughts on Yadiel is coming out of spring. He had such a great camp and swung the bat so well. I think he opened a lot of eyes with his at bats. And we've just got to a point where the way the rosters, the way we're at roster wise, where there's probably not a lot of at bats. And instead of getting too far into the season with him really not getting a lot of plate appearances. The best thing is for him to play a lot.
Scooter Gennett in the dugout. He's getting ready for action. He did 2 games of a minor league rehab stint with Brevard County, but he feels ready to go, and Craig Counsell said he will be full go. So when we come back, we'll take a look at our pitching matchup tonight. It will be Jimmy Nelson and James Shields for the Padres. It'll be Matt LePay and Bill Schroeder talking about that matchup when we return here at Miller Park.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Have the makings of a really good pitching matchup tonight. Never mind that record for James Shields. He's been getting no run support en route to that 1-5 record. Jimmy Nelson off to a very good start for the Brewers, looking for win number 5 tonight as the Brewers open up this 4-game series with San Diego. Good evening from Miller Park. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Matt LePay. Sophia Minard is our reporter. We'll get into James Shields, Rock, as we move forward. But Jimmy Nelson, okay, it wasn't his best outing against Cincinnati, a no decision, but he's been really good. And he's been really good at home this year, even going back to last year.
Yeah, even going back to last year. I think it's a matter of Jimmy Nelson just getting it, understanding what he has to do to get through games. And, you know, you can see the last 12 starts here at Miller Park, which is really a hitter's ballpark. But Jimmy has been able to keep that earned run average under 3, a 7-2 record. Jimmy is 3-1 this year in 4 home starts. He's allowed only 10 earned runs in 27 innings. And, you know, the loss was probably his best start of the year. He gave up 2 runs against the Giants in 7 1/3. So Jimmy needs to continue that. Margin a little bit thin because with James Shields on the mound today, you don't figure the Brewers are going to be getting too many opportunities to score. So he's got to be good early here tonight.
Yeah, very much so. Runs could be very tough to come by here in this opener of the 4-game series, the Brewers and the San Diego Padres. Then again, you have a couple of big-time bats in the house. You got Carter, you got Braun, you got Kemp, you got Upton Jr., who at times can swing a good bat. As we get ready to open this series, the Brewers and the Padres, coming up on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Showcase moments worth remembering. Aaron Hill provided an historic night with the long ball, and Jonathan Lucroy showcased his bat and his arm in a Brewers win. Now the Crew's looking to create more memorable moments with a week at Miller Park. Can Jimmy Nelson continue his home success and take down the Padres in Game 1? Find out next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the night with luxury. The roof is open here at Miller Park on a beautiful May evening as we are ready to roll. Jimmy Nelson getting ready to try to improve his record to 5-2 as he takes on the San Diego Padres tonight. As the Crew starting a 7-game homestand, 4 of them with the Padres and then 3 with the Chicago Cubs next week. Padres sweeping a split doubleheader yesterday afternoon and last night against the Cubs at Wrigley Field as Jon Jay settles in and Jimmy Nelson with a fastball that's upstairs, and we are underway. Jay, the former St. Louis Cardinal, hitting .279 going into this game, and he starts it with a base hit back up the middle.
Yeah, Jay's always had good success against the Brewers and continues it here tonight.
Let's check out the Potawatomi batting order for the Padres. Jon Jay, Wil Myers, Matt Kemp, 1, 2, 3. Brett Wallace hits cleanup, followed by Melvin Upton Jr. and Derek Norris. Alexei Ramirez at short. Jose Pirela at second. James Shields rounding out the batting order against Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah, Jimmy with a 3-game winning streak here at Miller Park. He lost his first start against the Giants, and he's won his last 3 decisions here at home.
So a leadoff single as Myers settles in. Again, the Padres in that sweep of the Cubs. It's the first time that the Cubbies have lost consecutive games this season. A 7-4 and a 1-0 win yesterday afternoon and evening for San Diego. And a team that got off to a miserable start and now trying to turn things around. There's a ground ball. Aaron Hill, there's one, or Scooter Gennett, I should say, there's one. And then the relay over the first, not in time, as condition myself. Scooter's back in there, of course, just fresh off the disabled list. And
check out the Menards Brewers defense. You got Scooter Gennett back in the lineup. He was only a couple days over the minimum time served on a disabled list at oblique. That puts Aaron Hill back at third base. Hill did a pretty good job filling in for Gennett at second base, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate. You know, the Brewers back at full strength now that Santana's back in the lineup and Scooter is fresh off his rehab stint.
Yeah, Scooter Gennett up. Yadiel Rivera sent to AAA Colorado Springs. So Myers the runner at first. And Matt Kemp is the hitter. And one of the big bats, obviously, throughout the course of Kemp's career. You'll see his numbers here early this season for the San Diego Padres as we are just getting started here at Miller Park on a very nice night. Roof open for the first time as Kemp gets into one into left field. Braun going back and near the wall makes the catch. Loud outs, 2 away here in the first.
Yeah, just didn't get it. Didn't get good extension on it. Down on the trademark a little bit. Then Ryan Braun able to track it back against the wall. That fastball from Jimmy Nelson. Tried to get it inside, left it out over the plate just enough for Kemp to give it a pretty good ride, but didn't get all of it. Big, strong right-handed hitter, Matt Kemp. And when Kemp's healthy, he is a force at the plate. Had a good season last year.
Yeah, when healthy, the key. That obviously hampered him at times in his years with LA, but he's had some great years. Here's Brett Wallace hitting cleanup and playing third base, playing it more than he ever has as a big leaguer. He's played mostly over at first, and they've had a lot of injuries in this San Diego roster. 4 infielders down right now. Let's put it in perspective. So manager Andy Green just shuffling as he can. First year as the manager of the Padres. He was a third base coach of the Diamondbacks last year.
And has proven to be a pretty creative manager in his attempt to score some runs. It has been sometimes near impossible for the Padres to score. They got shut out in their first 3 games of the season 8 times overall. But they've been playing some pretty good baseball as of late.
A ball, a strike to Brett Wallace. Yeah, you're right. They were shut out in their first 2 games and then went to Colorado in a 3-game series. In the first 2 games, they scored 29 runs. Good place to go when you're struggling.
Yeah, right. Gets everybody healthy, right? Get the bats going.
A ball, 2 strikes to Wallace. He's had good numbers in his games at Miller Park, 16 of them in his career, and he is out at first as Myers off the bag and Nelson picks him off.
No, and that's probably going to get another look. I don't think Andy Green convinced, but Laz Diaz right on it. Let's check it out. He was leaning.
Not so sure there.
Well, I mean, is his finger on the bag or not? Right there, you can't see it. And just the end of the fingertips touching any part of the bag, and he's okay. And Laz Diaz saying he was out.
And they will go ahead and not review it. Andy Green says not enough there. Inning over, so Myers picked off. And we are through 1/2 inning here at Miller Park. No score. Brewers coming up. He's going to run her on, but do not score. Will Myers picked off by Jimmy Nelson, and now the Brewers getting their first crack at it tonight. Here's the batting order presented by Potawatomi. Santana, Domingo Santana in the lineup now for the second straight game, followed by Scooter Gennett and Ryan Braun. Jonathan Lucroy hits cleanup, followed by Carter and Nieuwenhuis. Aaron Hill over at third tonight. Jimmy Nelson hitting eighth, and Jonathan Villar will bat ninth, and that's the lineup that will face James Shields.
Yeah, tough luck starter for the Padres. 1-5, but a very good 360 earned run average. Just doesn't get a lot of run support. An innings eater, to say the least, James Shields.
Yeah, that has been the story of his career. All the way back to 2007. It's automatic. He will give you 30+ starts, 200+ innings, and Domingo Santana greets him with a base hit to left.
Now the Padres near the bottom of the league defensively. The defense brought to you by Menards. Upton, Jay, and Kemp in the outfield. You have Brett Wallace, Alexi Ramirez. Ramirez pretty good over there at shortstop. You got Jose Perella and Will Myers on the right side, and Derek Norris behind home plate.
So here is Scooter Gennett off the disabled list. A good thing when he had the oblique tightness during batting practice in Chicago. The thought at the time was it was not going to be a long-term issue, but when you talk about oblique injuries, it can be a scary thing. It can keep you out for quite a while, but the good news here is that it did not. And Gennett with a couple of rehab assignment games in Class A Brevard County. Back up with the big club tonight. And squibs one foul along the line at third, and Shields out in front 0-2.
Yeah, that was a pretty good offense the Brewers were without while he was on the DL. You know, 2 games, got a couple of hits yesterday. Talking to Scooter before the game, he says he feels great. And a precautionary decision by the Brewers to put him on the DL just to make sure that that wasn't going to be something that was going to hang around all season.
He was cleared for batting practice during the series in Cincinnati, and he was launching some shots out of the ballpark. And yes, the ball does fly there, but he looked good and then felt just fine afterwards, and a couple of games of live action, and now back with the Brewers and back at second base. And Jeanette to left center field, and he is back indeed. Santana the turn. He's going to go to third. The throw from Upton is cut off, and now Jeanette's hung up. Myers the flip over to second. Pirela will try to run him back, and he is able to apply the tag. So after all that, the Brewers have a runner at third and one out.
I think that Jeanette thought that Upton for sure was going to make a throw into third base. He did not, and ended up getting caught in the pickle between first and second. And the changeup from Shields. You're going to see a lot of off-speed stuff from James Shields. He doesn't throw a lot of fastballs. And it dumps that one into right field. Now the mistake that Jeanette makes is assuming that Upton is not going to hit the cutoff man. He did, and got caught in the pickle, and they get him easily. You know, Santana just hanging back at third base, knowing Ryan Braun's coming up.
He is riding an 11-game hitting streak, Ryan Braun, and hitting .447 in the course of that streak. He had 3 hits, drove in a run last night. Padres with the infield in, and Braun takes a strike.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, almost 500 with runners in scoring position this year. Well, staying on the baseball, infield in, making Ryan even a tougher out.
You mentioned it during Brewers Live pregame. The numbers, not just currently or what he has done in the 11-game streak or in the first month and, well, 5 weeks now or so of the season, going back to last year, the last 65 games, hitting at a .361 clip. Starter ended last year strong, starting this year strong. Swing and a miss here, a ball, 2 strikes.
Yep, he's been able to stay healthy for the most part through the first 6 weeks of the season, and Greg Counsell is going to give him time once in a while, give him a day off to make sure he's going to stay healthy.
Was in all 3 games of the series in Miami. And among the leaders in a number of stat categories, as you would imagine this season, there is a little chopper over to Alexei Ramirez. And the runner has to hold. There are 2 men out.
Well, if you think you're getting a fastball from James Shields, even when you're ahead in the count, you know, 2-1, 2-0, 3-1, think again. I mean, he throws a ton of off-speed pitches, a cutter, a changeup, a curveball, maybe more than any other pitcher in the big league. And there's that changeup with 2 strikes. Ryan beats it into the ground, and yeah, good decision by the Padres to bring the infield in.
Two outs, a runner at third for Jonathan Lucroy. Brewers had an early opportunity last night and were unable to cash in against Wei-Yin Chen. And the Brewers fell to the Marlins 3-2. Milwaukee taking 1 game in that series and scoring 10 runs in the game they did win. A 3-4 road trip for the Crew after splitting 4 against the Reds in Cincinnati. So all in all, not a bad road trip. Disappointing into it last night, but able to come from behind wins to get the W's they were able to get in Cincinnati as well as Miami.
And because of a very good bullpen. Bullpen shined on that road trip. They've been good all year, but particularly good on the road trip.
2 balls, no strikes to Jonathan Lucroy. A bouncing ball by the mound, but Jose Pirela is there, and a threat goes by the boards here for the Brewers in the first. They strand a run. We are through 5 at Miller Park.
game as we head to the second in this series opener between the Brewers and the Padres. Scooter Gennett back in action for the Brewers after a short 15-day stint on the disabled list with oblique tightness. And Scooter told me that even though it was a short time, he said physically he feels great. He was able to ramp up things pretty quickly physically, but he said he also focused a lot of time on the mental part of the game. He said, I didn't want to waste time even if I was on the disabled list, so he spent a lot of time thinking about his process at the plate, watching video, and says there's so many tendencies in this game to try to be a perfectionist. And so he says he really wants to be conscious of how he's doing at the plate, how he responds to failure and success, and carrying those good habits forward.
Man, he started to do that in spring training. You could see a different demeanor out of Scooter Gennett when you show up at spring training last year, and he's certainly proven that on the field. I mean, a much different player, and has been productive for Craig Counsell. Although it was only a little over 2 weeks, Scooter said it during batting practice, seemed like 5 months.
Tell he was very, very itchy to get back in the lineup, and he gets that opportunity tonight. Off to a very good start at the plate. There you see the shift. That is Aaron Hill, the third baseman. They have him looped over just to the right field side of the bag at second. VR in his normal shortstop position. And they say Wallace offers up. And there is out number one here in the second.
His slider down in the dirt with 2 strikes. That's where you want it. We're pretty close. I mean, there's the dot. There's the pitch in the dirt. And third base umpire Ben May rings him up. Wallace didn't think he went, but it doesn't matter what he thinks.
He's back on the bench. Out number one here in the second inning. And here is Melvin Upton Jr. 250, 3 homers, 12 RBIs so far for San Diego this year. Count is even, a ball, a strike. Upton, of course, had some pretty good power years with the Tampa Bay Rays. Years where he hit 23 and then 28 homers. Moved on to Atlanta, where it just was a matter he couldn't hit in his time with the Braves. It's his second year with the Padres.
And they gave him a monster contract to the Atlanta Braves. And come over to San Diego with his brother Justin. Justin's moved on. Off to a much better start this year.
A ball, 2 strikes. Jimmy Nelson versus Melvin Upton Jr. with 1 out in the top of the second inning. And a swing and a miss. And quickly there are 2 men out as Nelson with a couple of punch outs here in the second.
Yep, 96 with that last fastball, far and away his best of the night. And up in the strike zone.
Four quality starts so far this season for Nelson at 4-2 record. Mentioned very good at home. ERA better than a run better this season at Miller Park.
Look at this Brewers starting rotation. It's starting to put it together a little bit, and all of a sudden they have 3 starters that can punch it up over 95 miles an hour now. You got Willie Peralta, Junior Guerra, and now Jimmy Nelson. So you got a little bit of a power game in that starting rotation now.
Derek Norris at the plate, a count of 1-1. Yeah, you have that trio that you're talking about, and then Zach Davies and Chase Anderson, they both pitched pretty well in their last outing. As you see Davies on the left, they gave him 5 good innings in the game in Miami. Breaking ball in there, a ball, 2 strikes now to the catcher Derek Norris.
Yeah, and Chase Anderson very good. He just made the one mistake yesterday on the changeup. Cost him a 2-run homer. But pretty good job in Miami last night for Chase.
Yeah, definitely a step the right way for Chase Anderson. A ball, 2 strikes to Derek Norris. And that one got him. And he's feeling that one a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of those mid-90s fastballs right there, and not sure where it got him, but really no chance to get out of the way of that pitch. Yeah, got him right on the top of the wrist area, right below that wristband.
So a 2-out base runner now for San Diego. And that'll bring Alexei Ramirez to the plate. Shortstop. A lot of years with the White Sox for Ramirez, including an all-star season in 2014. A couple of Silver Slugger years for him, and first that all-star year of 14 and then won it 4 years earlier. Last year with the White Sox at 249, playing in 154 games for Chicago at 10 homers. And he sends one in the air to right center field. That is Curtin Neuenhuis. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it for the Padres here in the second. They strand a runner. They are scoreless through an inning and a half. No score. Second opportunity now for Milwaukee against James Shields. Let's take a look at what Shields has done. We mentioned it. He is a guy who's going to give you 30+ starts, 200+ every year. And when you do that, that's what has you where you are in the top of the list there. Innings pitched, the ultimate workhorse.
Yeah, 30+ starts, and you got to be healthy to be able to do that for sure. I mean, James Shields is certainly a guy that has had a nice career. The interesting thing about Shields and all the success that he's had, his highest win total is only 16. I say only 16 because when you think about James Shields, one of the better right-handers in the league, you would think he'd be bucking 20 wins in a number of occasions, but that hasn't been the case.
Defensive change here for San Diego. Christian Bethancourt now behind the plates. Remember, in the top of the second inning, Derek Norris was hit by a pitch. Stayed in there through the rest of that half inning, but obviously is not continuing. So now Bethancourt, who had the home run that was the difference in the second game of that split doubleheader last night in Chicago. Now he will be the catcher tonight in the series opener in Milwaukee.
Yeah, the last thing the Padres need is another injury, right?
Yeah, they've had a ton of them.
One thing after another.
Chris Carter leading things off. He's had a tough series in Miami. He's hitless in his last 13 at-bats, but still the numbers are healthy for him. 256, 10 homers, 22 RBIs. Last homer coming on Thursday night, last Thursday in Cincinnati a week ago.
Marlins pitched him tough in Miami. He had a tough time in against the Marlins, but you know, every offer is, you know, that much closer to another good hot streak.
And Shields can be vulnerable to giving up the home run. He gave up more than anyone in the National League last year at 33, and had one of those years with the Rays back in 2010. He gave up 34. But make no mistake, he has been a very, very good pitcher for a while. 2-2 pitch to Carter.
And slower and slowest for James Shields. You don't really expect a whole lot of fastballs with this guy. He'll give you one once in a while. He's thrown one the first pitch to Carter, but that's been it.
And Carter with a ground ball over to Ramirez. It's short, and there's one out here in the second.
Yeah, that was a fastball.
He doesn't throw a lot of them, but can get it up there. At least as high as 93 so far here tonight.
That change up at 82. He'll throw the curveball a little bit slower than that. He's got a cutter to go with the fastball.
He'll face Kirk Neuenhuis. Appeared as a pinch hitter last night in the game against the Marlins. Brewers continuing their rotation in the outfield. You have Santana back in there and right for the second straight game. We've seen a lot of Alex Presley, and with reason, here the last couple of weeks. Neuenhuis back in there for this series opener tonight. This is his 15th start of the year out in center, and you see the way the Padres have shifted the defense for him. 2-0 pitch.
Yeah, Presley had 30 at bats on the road trip. He played just about every day, you know, against Cincinnati and Miami, whether it be right or center.
The 2-1 pitch from Shields. And Neuenhuis try to turn on it, but this will be a foul ball. First look this Brewers team has had against James Shields, although some of the Brewers obviously have faced him in the past, but the first time he has pitched against Milwaukee. On deck hitter has had the biggest sample size by far. We'll get to that. There's Aaron Hill. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Neuenhuis. And that is back up the middle, a base hit. Third hit here early on for the Crew.
Yeah, when Down got that one, that's what you have to do against Shields. You can't think about pulling the baseball too much. And Neuenhuis able to watch him bend the knees on the changeup. You know, get down there and a nice easy swing, kind of a half swing, and able to beat the shift right back through the middle. And third hit already for Milwaukee.
Brewers had a chance in that first inning. Left Santana stranded at third. 1-out single from Neuenhuis, and here's Aaron Hill. What a road trip he had. 10 for 25 on that road trip, including 3 homers, all coming Saturday night in that extra inning win against the Reds in Cincinnati. And he is the one Brewer. Chris Carter has had a dozen at bats against Shields coming in, but Carter, or Hill rather, by far has had the most looks against Shields and has had some success against him. 42 at bats against the Padres right-hander. 286 average, including 4 home runs. Keep an eye on Neuenhuis.
And that's the thing about, Shields and guys that throw like James Shields. I mean, off-speed stuff, when they leave it up in the zone, you can take him out of the ballpark. And as you mentioned, he's given up a lot of home runs in his career. But because he doesn't walk many guys, they're not going to hurt him too bad. Solo shots aren't going to hurt you too much.
Hill's hitting streak did stop last night at 10. 0 for 4 night against the Marlins down in Miami. And Hill with a fly ball in his shallow right field. That is Matt Kemp. And there are 2 men out.
Hey, it's a jam-packed homestand at Miller Park as the Crew continues its weekend showdown with the Padres. Tomorrow night through Sunday afternoon. Then on Tuesday through Thursday, the Chicago Cubs come to town. Great seats are still available at Brewers.com.
Good to be back at Miller Park after the road trip. Tonight where the roof is open. Very comfortable here in Milwaukee. Here's Jimmy Nelson as the Brewers batting order has the pitcher hitting 8th. Craig Counsell was doing that quite a bit in the first 3 weeks of the season, but this is the first time the pitcher has hit 8th in the lineup since April 22nd.
And he likes to do that with Jonathan Villar in the number 8 spot because essentially you have 2 leadoff hitters. And once you get through that lineup, the first time, worst case scenario here, you have Villar leading off in the 3rd inning. But there are times in the 2nd inning with runners on base that your pitcher is walking to the plate. So it's about a 50-50 proposition whether it helps you or not.
Nelson with 3 hits and an RBI so far this season. There's a ground ball to second. That's Perella. And that'll do it for the Brewers here in inning number 2. We are through 2 in this series opener. Brewers and Padres, no score. Well, quite a night in baseball last night for pitchers, including this one, Max Scherzer. Check it out. 20 punch-outs. His former team. That, of course, ties the major league record for strikeouts in a 9-inning game. It was at the point where the final out was a ground ball and the crowd groaned.
Yeah. Couldn't get that last one, but what a performance. We saw Max Scherzer at his best. Here at Miller Park last year, took a no-hitter into the 9th inning. And you see Roger Clemens did it twice. Kerry Wood, Randy Johnson, and Max Scherzer last night. Noah Syndergaard had a pretty good night against the Dodgers.
He did at the plate, as a matter of fact. So he had great pitching and great hitting by a pitcher. A couple of home runs for Syndergaard, and then
8 innings in a win.
right, yeah. Oh, by the way, what he really gets paid to do is pretty good. Here's Jose Perella leading off in the third. It was kind of fun watching Syndergaard because he had his next at bat after homering twice. He had a deep fly ball that went foul down the line and right, but he was really gonna rock everybody's world, but I think he did quite a bit as it was. Perella getting another start at second base. His third straight game he has been in the lineup. He was recalled for the second time this season on Sunday. 26 years old, out of Venezuela, originally signed with the Yankees, came over in a trade back in November. Pitcher Ronald Herrera most of last year in the minor leagues, and he will swing and miss, and Lucroy will complete the strikeout, and that's 3 Ks so far for Nelson. Well, we were talking about pitchers making the headlines. We were showing you Scherzer, and now here's Syndergaard. And that's legit now. It looks like he knows what he's doing.
That's Dodger Stadium too. I mean, it's that's not a bandbox out there. That's not like hitting in Cincinnati. And then he takes him to the opposite field. Gave up 2 earned runs in 8 innings and hit a couple of big flies. Not a bad night.
And here is James Shields. He's able to swing the bat a little bit. 3 hits for him so far this season. 12 at bats. A ball, a strike. Thinking we have the makings of a very good pitching matchup here tonight. And Shields chops one to VR. 2 up, 2 down in the third. Time now for our Carsoup.com trivia question for tonight. Who holds the Brewers franchise record for most strikeouts in a single game? Put on that K theme. Who holds the Brewers record for the most strikeouts in a single game?
I was here for it.
Yeah, I say a very memorable game it was for the Brewers and their fans. Of course you were here for it. You're here for a lot of them.
No, it could have been, you know, early on in the 70s. I wasn't around for that. So I guess you're giving away. I guess I'm giving away the fact that it's, you know, within the last 30 years.
I'm helping you give it away. I'm just throwing it out there. A little hint. Top of the order, John Jay. He's singled in the first inning. And a diving stop by Aaron Hill. Nice play to end the inning. He can play second. He can play third. Anywhere you want. Aaron Hill with a highlight play here to end the top half of the third inning as the Padres go down in order and we stay scoreless at Miller Park.
Padres here in the third at Miller Park, and the roof is open. We're starting a 7-game homestand, and I'm joined now by Brewers Chief Operating Officer Rick Schlesinger. And Rick, it's always great to have the roof open. First game this season, but looking ahead for the weekend, a couple homestand highlights. In particular, on Saturday night, Grammy Award winner Andy Grammer coming here to Miller Park.
Yeah, post-game concert free to all fans, and again, we've done a few of these last year. Very popular. It's a popular singer, and I know we're going to have a lot of people here, including fans who are not normally baseball fans, but fans of him. We're welcoming them on board, and we're looking forward to a nice show after the game.
And tickets are still available for Saturday. All fans can come to that concert with the ticket to the game. And also on Sunday, you're honoring Jonathan Lucroy with a replica jersey.
Yeah, replica jersey came out great. And again, fans 14 and under get a replica jersey. Fans 14 and under get free food. We got free hot dog, apple slices, bottle of water, and ice cream. So if you've got a 14-year-old or younger, he can get a free shirt, free jersey, and free food.
All right, thanks, Rick, for joining us. Plenty of action here at Miller Park, and certainly a lot of reasons to come out and join us here at Miller Park over the weekend.
All right, Sophia, Rick, thank you very much. And no, Rock, I don't have it. I gave it back. Somebody has it. Renee, do you have it? The Lucroy jersey? Oh, here it is. Oh, and magically, it appears right here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I thought you stole it. I really did. I apologize. I was giving you a hard time the whole road trip. Maybe a niece or a nephew or.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. That's what friends are for. False accusations. I like that.
You can have it now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, now you can have it. Now that I know you didn't steal it. Well done. How about Renee, right?
Very smooth. Ask and you shall receive. One out here in the bottom of the third for Domingo Santana. That is a nice jersey.
Yeah. You can have the jersey. I'll take the hot dog and free lunch.
There you go. It's free. It's for me. 2 balls, no strikes to Santana. He singled in the first inning, was left stranded at third. Brewers had a chance against James Shields. 34-year-old. Again, that 1-5 record, but the run support, that's been a contradiction in terms. He's had 10 runs scored for him. His ERA just a bit more than 3.5. So the ERA would tell you he has pitched far better than the record coming into the game. 5 quality starts out of his first 7. And there you go. You see the runs per game. Former Brewer Marco Estrada not getting a lot of help.
Yeah, Matt Cain and James Shields, 2 runs a game. That's not going to win you many.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Second game back for Santana in the lineup. He mostly served in a pinch hit role in the road trip, but was in there last night in Miami and actually got in late in the game on Tuesday as well out in right field. Shoulder tightness. They had it checked out right after the Cincinnati series. Swings and misses here. He flew up to Milwaukee, had it checked, and was right back in Miami. 2 men out here in the third for the Crew.
Yeah, the news was good when he got checked out. I mean, no structural damage and something that perhaps he can play through. So, and after we got that news, back in the lineup, back-to-back days here.
2 outs for Scooter Gennett, his first game back with the Brewers, coming off the DL. Single to left in the first inning. Santana moved to third, and then Gennett got hung up. And long story short, it turned into an outfield assist for Melvin Upton Jr. It's a 7-6, 3-4 put out of Gennett. Upton with 5 assists now. That gives him the lead in that category. Ryan Braun 1 behind. A ball is strike to the Brewers' second baseman. Prior to the DL, hitting the ball well, getting on base a lot, walking. He's walked 10 times, 4 homers, showing that pop in his bat. And out in front there, a ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, just came into shape or into camp really in good shape. He added some weight, muscle weight, and it was obvious that he worked very hard, physically in the offseason, and just seemed like he was a different guy coming into camp this year, physically and mentally.
Shields with a 1-2. And that will end the inning here for the Brewers. A couple of strikeouts to end the third for James Shields. 3-3, no score. To the fourth inning here in Milwaukee. Hey, Brewers fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app. Take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. Good one here so far. Jimmy Nelson versus James Shields. 0-0 as Nelson gets set to face Will Myers. And a couple of hits in that doubleheader yesterday. 2 in the afternoon game. Was 0 for 4 last night. Fielder's choice. He got on and then got picked off for first by Nelson to in the top half of the inning.
That's a good slider for Jimmy tonight. He's got a good one working. And it's always the question coming into the game is going to be more curveballs or it's going to be more sliders for Jimmy Nelson. That question's been answered at least early on tonight.
Missing with one there. A ball, 2 strikes. Nelson with 3 strikeouts early on. And the 1-2. That's hit sharply. Jeanette diving, cannot get it. It's a base hit for Myers.
Tried to sneak the fastball by him, and Myers able to find a hole out there in the center field.
His ability to get hits with 2 strikes notable. 3rd best in the National League in that category. That's his 21st hit with 2 strikes.
Yeah, just a mistake. He left it out over the plate. I mean, a 1-2 count. Yeah, Myers was having a difficult time with that slider and able to get a fastball he liked. And not too many good 2-strike hitters on this Padres ball club. They punch out a lot.
They do. The most in the National League, as a matter of fact. A team that's been shut out 8 times, including their first 3 games of the season. But to their credit, they come to Miller Park playing well, and not just from yesterday's doubleheader sweep of Chicago as Matt Kemp steps in. They have won 8 of their last 13 games. They sit 15-20 to the Padres. That's a half a game better than the Brewers in the overall picture of the National League. Milwaukee 14-20. As Kemp lifts a fly ball to shallow right field. Routine chance for Santana for out number 1. Always the goal of every series, keep him as quiet as you can.
There's that slider. He's got a good one tonight. It kind of hung up in his zone just a little bit, and you could see his reaction because it was a hanger. He was just out in front of it.
Not happy.
No.
Want that one again.
Yeah, you don't want to be missing the hangers.
And yes, that is Mark McGwire you just saw in that shot, the hitting coach. Padres. Here's Brett Wallace. He struck out his first trip in the second inning.
And Mark McGwire tonight. We had Barry Bonds in Miami. How many home runs is that combined?
Look that up.
No, it's
yeah.
rhetorical.
It's
just
a lot.
It's a ton.
It's a lot.
All right. Let's just leave it at that.
It's a lot.
But you were ready to go at it up, though. I mean, I'm impressed. No, you don't have to.
No, I'll pass on that.
Let somebody else do that.
Okay. Multitasking is something I'm not doing very well. 0-2 to Brett Wallace. It's at .294 through his first 16 games in this ballpark. 29-year-old former Arizona State standout. Myers is running, pitches inside, and the throw is not nearly in time. And that'll be a stolen base for Will Myers.
Yeah, no chance for Lucroy. It was a tough pitch to throw on number 1, and Myers had a pretty good jump. I think he was thinking about stealing a base the first inning when he got picked off. He was leaning towards second, and you could see Lucroy down and in. He had to go down on a knee, and that virtually makes it impossible to throw him out. Not a very big lead, but a good jump.
So a runner in scoring position with 1 out, a ball, 2 strikes. The count on the third baseman and the cleanup hitter, Brett Wallace. Nelson 4 quality starts coming into this game. Opponents hitting just .226 against him. Now he and Lucroy need to get on the same page.
Yeah, Brett Wallace, another one of those guys with the very low batting average, but a pretty good on base percentage, right? He's hitting .216, but an on base percentage near .400.
Yep, absolutely. Quick trip to the mound as Lucroy and Nelson have their quick chat.
We've been talking about that for a while now with Colin Walsh.
That's been the big story with Walsh. Low average, but the very impressive on base percentage. 1-2 pitch is blocked by Lucroy. Leadoff single in this inning from Myers. He steals second. Fly ball off the bat of Matt Kemp, and a 2-ball 2-strike count to Wallace. A 3-run homer in the first game yesterday against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. His second of the year. He has driven in 8. The first-round draft pick back in 2008. Right after Jamel Weeks, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Early in his career, I think the Astros thought he was going to be the first baseman over there for quite some time. Just didn't pan out.
Nelson ready with a 2-2. And the count runs full on Wallace. Your every run could be precious in this game with these two pitchers. Nelson wanting to be careful with Wallace. Melvin Upton Jr. is on deck. And this is hit in the air to shallow left field. Going out is Aaron Hill, and right along the line. That's a tough catch. And he makes the play.
Yeah, remember the play made early in the year, very similar to that, and not only caught the baseball going away from the infield, but able to make a throw into home plate for a double play. I'll tell you, no matter where you put him, second base or third base, he just keeps making the plays. This is not an easy play. You can see him never really taken his eye off the baseball, and over the shoulder in fair territory and able to haul it in. That's well done. Just a guy that doesn't make many mistakes out there in the field.
Well, he's been very good with the glove, and then that bat has heated up in the last couple of weeks. 2 outs with Myers still at second base for Melvin Upton Jr. And a swing and a miss for strike one. Ahead of that breaking ball was Upton Jr. Nelson trying to leave a runner in scoring position here in the top of the fourth. Lucroy will go down and get it. Something he does extremely well. He and Maldonado, in fact, in that category. All of that in a 300 hitter so far this season, Jonathan Lucroy.
Works hard at it too. Doesn't come easily.
A ball is strike to the San Diego left fielder. A fastball that just blows by Upton there for strike two. Myers at second, a 1-2 count to Upton. In the air to right field, and this will carry out of play. And those 2 years in Atlanta for Upton, he was hovering around 200. In fact, he was under 200 in 2013, and then a year later hit just over 200, ended up 208.
Yeah, hit a combined 21 home runs after hitting 28 for the Tampa Bay Rays. The year before, 2012.
He was involved in that trade right at the start of the season that involved himself and Craig Kimbrell to the Padres. And there's a ground ball sharply, and that goes through into left field past a diving VR, and Myers will come around the score, and there's the first run of the night.
Yep, got able to barrel up on a slider from Jimmy. That time, and Upton hooks it just out of the reach of VR, who was able to knock it down and run one to score. And just stayed up a little bit too much, didn't get down in the zone, and Upton able to barrel it up, just missed it. And just trying to keep that ball in the infield to keep the run from scoring, and not able to do it. Got to watch Upton, he'll run.
He has 6 stolen bases so far. He's been caught 3 times. Here's Christian Bethancourt as they keep an eye on Upton. Nelson has picked off a runner here tonight. There's Will Myers in the first inning. And Bethancourt coming in early in this game as a replacement for Derek Norris, who was hit by a pitch to start the second inning, or actually in the second inning after 2 men were out. He finished the inning, but then did not come back out in the next half inning, and it's his Bethancourt's game behind the plate.
Yeah, you never know about those, those hit batters. When you get hit around the wrist, the top of the hand. I mean, no telling what could have happened there. Bruise, maybe a little bit of a break. A lot of little bones in that hand area.
1-0 pitch with Upton on the run. A ground ball over to VR. This should end the inning, and it does. Padres get the first run of the night, but the Brewers will have some of the big bats with Ryan Braun along with Jonathan Lucroy and Chris Carter as we move to the bottom of the fourth. It's 1-0 San Diego. on the board, getting a run in the top half of this inning. 1-0 San Diego. Ryan Braun will be leading things off. And they mentioned he carries an 11-game hitting streak into this series opener tonight. He's showing power at times, his ability to just get singles, just we say, still driving in runs along the way. 10 RBIs in the course of this hitting streak.
And really has done a nice job getting to that fastball in, and that's where teams like to pitch him, but he's been able to get the bat on it. A lot of hits on the road trip, including 3 last night. By the way, added up the home runs.
Yeah.
Bonds, McGuire, 1,345.
That's a lot.
Not bad.
Yeah, we said that, yeah.
Yep.
Quick, how many for McGuire?
583.
There you go.
Anybody else you want to mention?
Yeah.
Bond 762.
Yep. Very good. How many did you have, Rock?
61.
61 more than I had, so I can't. You know, I can punch you, but you know.
701 behind Bonds.
Well, just a little short.
Yeah.
Just had a couple of more years.
Yeah. Not too many backup catchers are going to win home run titles.
True. True.
Had I only played more.
Managers just keeping you out of the
Had
lineup.
my chance. Yeah.
I know. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Braun. Braun, Lucroy, and Carter here in the 4th.
Yeah, and looking at these home run lists, Alex Rodriguez, 8 home runs away from 700.
Braun with a base hit, and the hitting streak continues. Make it 12 straight for Ryan Braun.
And again, you know, getting to that pitch middle in and able to golf it out into center field on a changeup. Down in the zone. He had a tough time with that pitch his first time up. He grounded out to short on a changeup down and able to make the adjustment. That's what separates the great ones from everybody else. The guys who can make those adjustments.
Brewers get the leadoff man aboard for the 2nd time here tonight. They did so in the 1st inning. So they can string together some hits here off of Shields. The Crew with 4 knocks so far. Here's Jonathan Lucroy. The ground ball to 2nd base that ended the 1st inning. He has had a couple of nice hitting streaks as Lucroy, 1 of 8, 1 of 7 games. Average at .313 coming into the game. Brewers last night had 8 hits, just 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They took an 0-for in that department against Jose Fernandez and company in the series opener in Miami, but then had a 10-run outburst in the middle game of the series. The 2nd time they had scored in double digits against the Marlins this season. They put 14 on them here a couple of weeks ago in the final game of that first go around with Miami. A 4-gamer starting tonight with the San Diego Padres. Team the Brewers beat 5 out of 7 times last year. Lucroy behind 1-2.
And cut fastball, and it looks pretty good coming in until it gets to the hitting zone and kind of goes away from that right-handed hitter. You can see the spin on it. Not exactly the slider spin, but just a little subtle movement right at the end.
1-2 to Lucroy. Braun with a leadoff single for Milwaukee here in the fourth. Lucroy had a couple of hits last night. He was 2 for 4. And Bethancourt with a block.
Yeah, one of the few curveballs that Shields has flipped up there at 78 miles an hour. So he's only going to throw you strikes if he thinks you're going to take the pitches off the strike zone. Likes to nibble on the corners, and even when he's behind in the count, not willing to throw that fastball down the heart of the plate to, get back in the count.
He has given his team at least 6 innings in each of his first 7 starts. 2-2 to Lucroy. And he tries to go down and get it, and swing and a miss for out number 1.
That change up getting Lucroy down in the dirt. The arm action is what makes this such a good pitch. I mean, there's the grip. Ball comes out on those 3 fingers. You cut down the velocity. It comes out of the hand like a fastball, and Bethancourt able to block it. You see the rotation on it, almost a screwball type rotation on it at 84 miles an hour.
1 out, 1 on in the fourth. Here's Chris Carter. Carter settles in. Let's check out tonight's Powerball home run leaderboard. Chris with 10 of them. The last one a week ago in Cincinnati. Braun with 7. Scooter Gennett, Aaron Hill each with 4. So it's been a week. He's due.
Yeah.
Brewers were able to run well in that second game of the series in Miami. Jonathan Villar among those. Villar leads the league in stolen bases. Braun certainly capable as well. He has a couple in 3 attempts. 1-0 pitch to Carter.
Yeah, Brewers have been very aggressive on the bases, trying to take extra bases, sometimes running into outs when they shouldn't. But I mean, Craig Counsell's letting his guys be aggressive, see what they can do. And it's not just the players. I was talking to Ed Cedar, third base coach. He said, I'm taking chances. I'm going to send guys. I'm going to make outfielders make good throws. And most of the time it's worked out.
Yeah, Tuesday, Counsell was saying that was as well a game that the Brewers have played running the bases all year. And Villar, when he was thrown out at third of that Ryan Braun single last night, he was telling reporters after the game he wanted to see if Ozuna could make the perfect throw. The answer was yes, but they had some throws offline, up the line on plays at the plate. And
yeah.
Sometimes you push the envelope, it comes back to get you, and it did in that play. But the Brewers had some aggressive base running to their advantage, and here's a runner going. A swing and a miss from Carter. To throw down to second is in time. Bethancourt erases Braun. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and that will end the inning. There's Carter strikes out. Braun is cut down trying to steal second. We are through 4. It is 1-0 San Diego. Is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Oh, a gorgeous night here in Milwaukee with the roof open. Nice, comfortable night for baseball. 1-0 Padres as we move to the 5th inning. Padres getting their first run of the night in the 4th as Alexei Ramirez will lead things off for San Diego. All those years in Chicago from 2008 through last year. Ramirez, an all-star a couple of years ago.
Yeah, his rookie year, Ramirez hit 21 homers there with the White Sox. They thought he was going to be a big power threat at shortstop.
Signed a free agent deal with San Diego over the offseason. Bouncing ball over the mound. Jeanette, this tough play. Bare hand snag and the throw. He got him.
I don't know.
Yeah, they may want to take a look at it, but boy, what an effort by Scooter Jeanette. Now we'll see whether it will hold up.
Yeah, Ramirez right away thought he was safe, and they're going to ask the umpires to go look at it. I mean, that's not even close.
Yeah.
That will be a base hit. And once the ball gets over the head of Jimmy Nelson, it's a tough play for Scooter. And throw a little bit late, called safe. That'll be overturned.
Good effort. Anticipating an overturn here, and Ramirez would be aboard via the infield single. And as we thought it might not take very long, it does not. And it's a base hit for Alexei Ramirez.
And no surprise to everybody as the roof here is closing here at Miller Park. Yeah, that took all of what, 15 seconds?
That was quick.
That was a no-brainer.
Unlike the overturn of the home run, because one runner passed another the other night.
Right. It took a while.
Yeah. This was officially a 43-second review, and yep, the roof is closing. The weather is supposed to turn and runner on the go, and here's a smash off of the bat of Perella into right field, but Santana is there for out number 1, and Ramirez, who was on the move, now retreats.
The ball hung up a little bit and was slicing toward Domingo as he went over into the gap.
So we will have the roof open for about half a game here. Are expecting some much different weather tomorrow night. Cool swing again. And the conditions are such to just play it safe here tonight, button it up, and enjoy baseball here in Milwaukee. Here's James Shields.
Yep, got the hand on the foul bunt attempt.
Another day in the life, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you have a man on base and a guy's, trying to drop down a bunt, it's hard to keep the hand behind your back. And look at it, right off the fingers. The good thing for Lucroy, they were just kind of hanging there loose. I mean, you stiffen them up, you have your fingers bunched up in a fist. I mean, that's why you can get broken fingers. But you keep them loose like that, now you have a chance. It'll go away. Of course, it's his throwing hand.
Oh, and 1 the count to the pitcher, James Shields. Throw over buys Lucroy a few more seconds.
Yeah, he's kind of rolling the fingers together, trying to get some of the blood flow, some of the feeling back in there.
Runner is going. Shields trying to lay one down, and he does. Aaron Hill will make the play over at first, and still running is Ramirez, and he will motor all the way around to third. That's a good bunt and just good heads-up base running from Alexei Ramirez.
And not sure if somebody missed a sign, because you typically don't try and steal and drop down a bunt at the same time. James Shields looking over there at third base. Says, I must have missed a sign. Somebody did. You don't steal and bunt, because if you pop it up, the inning's over. But it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, a bunt and run.
Yeah, Ramirez able to get into third base. I mean, relatively easily. He never slowed down.
Scoring chance for San Diego here in the 5th. Top of the order, Jon Jay. Talk about runners in scoring position, and here's Jay with a soft liner caught by Jeanette. Jay better than anyone in the National League with runners in scoring position. Nelson turns it back, keeps it a one-run game.
The Padres have a 1-0 lead here in the 5th, and in our crew in the community tonight, the Brewers Community Foundation will host their annual 5K Famous Racing Sausages Run Walk on Saturday, July 30th. Participants will enjoy a one-of-a-kind run with the sausages around and through Miller Park, and all proceeds will support Fisher House, Wisconsin's mission to provide a home away from home for active military and veterans families. You can sign up today at brewers.com/BCF.
All right, Sophia, thank you. As we move to the bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 San Diego. Neuenhuis, Hill, and Nelson scheduled here in the bottom half of the 5th. Neuenhuis was a single to center his first trip back in the 2nd inning. 4 hits each side. Padres getting their run in the top of the 4th. That series in Cincinnati, we saw Kirk Neuenhuis covering a lot of ground out in center field, making a couple of very tough plays.
It's a big outfield out there in Miami. You need some pretty good wheels to be able to patrol that area.
Yeah, what a contrast in just the nature of the series. In Cincinnati, you expect the ball to fly out a lot, and it did. And in Miami, there was just the one home run that actually stood. JT Realmuto had one, but it was overturned for passing Marcell Ozuna. But a park that where the walls are in, center field in 12 feet, but it's still a big yard. And the one home run was last night off the bat of Justin Bour.
Yeah, Brewers hit 11 in Cincinnati, none in Miami.
And yet still scored 10 runs in that middle game. So they were able to move the line and in some cases manufacture a couple of runs. Trying to do that here tonight against James Shields.
You know, it's not just the ballpark, though. I mean, that Marlins pitching staff is a pretty good one with Jose Fernandez. We saw Chen last night. And those guys are legitimate starters. And they make it tough on you.
Yeah, it was interesting. It'll be more interesting when he does it to someone else, but to see Fernandez in person, to see how electric he is, that breaking stuff that he has going, and Get it up there. Wei Yin Chen, very good. Last night there's a curveball that Neuenhuis turns on into right field. That's a base hit. Kirk Neuenhuis is 2 for 2, and that's how the 5th inning starts for Milwaukee.
Yeah, 3 of 5 innings, the Brewers have been able to get their leadoff hitter aboard, but have not been able to score. Yeah, one of the rare curveballs. He leaves this one up in Neuenhuis' eyes and able to center on it. That's a nice level swing, and another base hit for Kirk Neuenhuis. One to center, one to right.
So 5 hits for Milwaukee. There's Aaron Hill. Fly ball to right in the 2nd inning. Hill with a nice running catch and a pop-up down the line in left field. His average sitting at 252. At the beginning of that hitting streak, right before that 10-game streak started, his average was in the 160 range. At one point he had raised it a bit more than 100 points, still up considerably from where it was prior to that hitting streak that was snapped last night.
And just stuck with it. I mean, off to a slow start, but you know, kept getting the work in with Darnell Coles in the hitting cage, and figured it out. No surprise. I mean, he's a veteran guy. He knew he wasn't going to be hitting 160. Guys like that don't panic.
He was 10 for 25 on that road trip. And that night that no doubt he would never forget, the 3 homers, 7 RBI night against the Reds in the 10-inning win. The Crew scored 7 times in that 10th inning. Breaking ball, and that's grounded to short, and that's a 6-4-3 double play. Taylor made right there. Ramirez, Corella to Myers, and there are 2 men out.
And another hanging breaking pitch. This time Aaron Hill a little bit out in front, and an easy double play. Neuenhuis able to wait back on the curveball and got a base hit. You can see right off the end of the bat, and a Taylor made double play for the San Diego Padres. I mean, that Alexi Ramirez, I mean, that's a routine play, but he has really helped their defense quite a bit.
That's a good get for San Diego. A team that last year the franchise, they were going for it, and it just didn't happen for them, and now they're a little bit of a retool, but you have a veteran like Ramirez. He can help anchor things in that infield for you.
Well, it's certainly not a young outfield, that's for sure. Those guys have been around a while. Tail end of their careers, I would imagine. You know, maybe not John Jay, but you know, Upton Kemp.
Right. Kemp and Upton Jr. there. A couple guys who've been around a little bit. There's Andy Green to your left, the 38-year-old manager. Also a swing and a foul. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good solid outing in progress for a Brewers starter. Of course, we have seen that far more often than not from Nelson this season as he looks at strike 3 called. James Shields effective as well. We are through 5. 1-0 San Diego. Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly, and by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. A 1-0 lead for San Diego as we move to the top of the 6th inning here at Miller Park. This is our Carsoup.com trivia question for tonight. Who holds the Brewers franchise record for the most strikeouts in a single game? Ben Sheets.
Yeah, remember it well. It was a day game, and they call it the game of shadows. And 18 punch outs, 116 pitches. The Braves had the following day off. They went to Arizona, and Randy Johnson threw a perfect game against them.
So they had kind of a tough couple days.
Rough couple days is right.
Will Myers leading off.
But I will say this: when Ben Sheets had that curveball working, you couldn't hit him, and that's just the way it was. I mean, fastball, curveball. Threw hard, had a big overhand curveball. When he couldn't throw that pitch, that's when he got himself in trouble, of course. But one of the best the Brewers have had.
That was a lineup the Braves had that had hitters such as Adam LaRoche, J.D. Drew, Andrew Jones. Chipper Jones was a pinch hitter that night. 2 balls, no strikes to Will Myers. And this is lofted out into foul territory, and Chris Carter cannot quite make the play. Really a no play. He's been impressive with the glove. And this one just not quite able to get there. He's been picking out a lot of throws in the dirt. And actually, in Cincinnati, made a nice over-the-shoulder catch in that series.
Yeah, in foul ground, but that one just a little bit too far, slicing away from him, and just right off the end of the glove. But you know, the baseballs that he can get to, you know, ground balls, pop-ups. I mean, he makes the plays. He's got good soft hands.
2 balls, 1 strike to Will Myers. This one is out of play. Myers was Rookie of the Year going back 3 years ago. Involved in a couple of significant deals in the last few years as well in his career that lands him in San Diego. And there's a fly ball hit out into center field. Lots of room for Kirk Nieuwenhuis, who will give way to Domingo Santana for the out. Second game back in the lineup for Santana in right.
And the Brewers pretty much back to full strength. I mean, as far as position players go, you know, Jeanette off the disabled list, Santana back in right field. Still have a ways to go as far as the pitching staff goes, but you know, good reports on Will Smith, Corey Knebel. Still going to be a while for Garza.
Yeah, we've talked about the Padres and their injury issues, and that's real, but it's worth reminding the Brewers have had their share as well. Guys who haven't even been able to start the season. Matt Kemp with a ground ball to Jonathan Villar, 2 up, 2 down in the 6th. Kemp stays quiet. He is now 0 for 3. Couple of fly balls and that ground out. Jimmy Nelson looking good again. The Padres with a run in the 4th inning. That's been it. Will Myers, a single, stole second. Came around to score on a 2-out single from Melvin Upton Jr. A run on 4 hits for San Diego. Here's Brett Wallace. Pitch count, very good shape here for Nelson. Oh, 1.
And a little over 11 pitches per inning. That's not bad.
Very efficient work here tonight for Nelson to this point. And that's what's going to get you to that efficient pitch count that he has. First pitch strikes, 17 of them so far. Here's the 0-2. Wallace had 4 seasons with the Astros before coming over to San Diego. His best year from a run production standpoint was his last, but the numbers were all pretty modest. He peaked at 13 homers. Never hit higher than 259 in any one season. 36 RBIs was his high water mark. They've been playing about half the games in the schedule for the Astros.
He's bounced around in his young career, though.
Yeah, he has.
Signed by the Cardinals, went to the Toronto. You know, before that, the Oakland Athletics, Astros, Orioles, back to the Blue Jays, and now he's here with the Padres.
The well-traveled Brett Wallace, a swing and a miss, and Nelson sets him down in order. We move to the bottom of the 6th. It's San Diego 1, Milwaukee nothing. Half of the 6th inning. Time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Checking some of the scores. Fairly light schedule here tonight. Red Sox, though, rolling along over the Houston Astros. Phillies and Braves locked up at 4. Giants and D-backs. So it's a good matchup there. Cueto and Greinke. That's a heck of a matchup there. Cardinals and Angels later. It's Vincent Velasquez. You know how good he can be on the mound. And another pitcher who can hit. Saw it last night with Syndergaard of the Mets, and now Velasquez 2 for 2. Go figure. Here is Jonathan VR.
Well, you know what they say, you have a bat in your hand, you can be dangerous no matter who you are, right? I mean, you got to make a decent pitch. When you don't, even a pitcher can take you deep.
Who needs a DH?
You're here.
He said enthusiastically.
I don't think the DH is going anywhere, though.
No.
I don't see that happening. I see the National League incorporating the DH. Better chance of that than American League losing a DH.
I would agree. 1-1 pitch to VR, trying to lay one down. We keep saying it because it's still true. This guy is terrific at getting on base. All but 4 games he's appeared in, he has reached at least once. Rounded out the first in the third inning. Down a ball, 2 strikes to James Shields.
You know, coming in the season, you really didn't know much about Jonathan Villar. I mean, he started at shortstop last year, lost his job. He had the big boy coming in for the Houston Astros. And he's come in, he's been impressive. And pretty similar situation with the shortstop the Brewers have in AAA with Orlando Arcia. But he's handled it well.
Yes, he has a very strong arm. Leads the National League with 11 stolen bases. Very aggressive. Two-two pitch. And there's a smash, and that is through into left field. A base hit. Big turn, Villar. He is an aggressive runner out there, and there's a single for Villar here in the 6th.
Now you got some pretty good speed that has a leadoff single. Villar loves to run, and this will be a pretty good matchup. Shields holds runners pretty well. We saw a pretty good throw up on Bethancourt, and a slider that stayed up in the strike zone just slaps it by Ramirez at short. So yet another leadoff base runner for the Brewers.
4 times tonight. We'll see if they can cash in. And here's Domingo Santana. Singled to left in the first, but was stranded at third. Six hits so far for Milwaukee. Trying to push a run across here against James Shields. Swing and a miss from Santana, and quickly it's 0-2. See his pitch count. His busiest night was his last outing against the Mets. 110 pitches. Talk about the durability of the starter that Santana is facing. James Shields there. He can be vulnerable, as we said, to giving up a home run. Gave up one to a very unlikely source in his last outing. And that is close over at first.
Caught a little bit too much air, getting back to first base, and they want to take a look at it. Nope, he was safe. It's the way the game is these days. Every call, if it's close, you're going to take a look at it.
At least after that first year of the expanded replay options, the manager doesn't have to go all the way out there and waste more time. Make that call from the dugout. Santana, a swing and a miss for out number 1. Going back to Shields, though, he can give up home runs. Rather than me ramble about James Shields, let's check in and let Sophia tell us more about tonight's starter. What do you got, Sophia?
Thanks, Matt. Well, before the game, Craig Counsell acknowledged James Shields' durability, saying you're going to get innings from him. He's proven that over each of his last 9 seasons, going at least 200 innings pitched. But he said he's changed a little bit with age. He said he still has that never give in mentality. Says he's not afraid to get behind in the count because he's so good at nibbling on the edges of the plate. So he said yesterday we really struggled to get into hitters counts. Counsell was hoping that tonight they would be able to get into those hitter counts against Shields, but he said the challenge is how good he is around the zone. So they've had 4 leadoff hits here in the first 6 innings, still looking for that first run.
Isn't that funny? That's exactly what you were going to say.
But she said it so much better. That's the key. She just got right to the point.
Right.
That's why she's a professional.
Right.
Here's Scooter Gennett at the plate, presented by Blaze Pizza. Scooter 1 for 2, first inning single. A called third strike in the third inning. 0-1 to Gennett. Shields, and that is back up the middle, somehow missing Shields, a base hit. And steaming around second on his way to third is VR, and Scooter Gennett is back, and the Brewers have him at first and third with one out.
I'm not sure how that baseball missed James Shields on the mound. I mean, that was a bullet right back at him. And Jonathan VR once again has been as aggressive going from first to third as anybody we've seen in a while. Even Carlos Gomez, I mean, he does not like to stop at second base. And check this out. Look out. And look at VR. He gets touches second base same time that Jay has the ball in his glove, and knowing that Jay doesn't have a great throwing arm, able to get to third base. It's a good risk to take to try and get into third base with one out. It's not when you have two outs. You never want to make the third out at third. That happened last night in Miami.
Yeah, off a Braun single. And the Marlins were able to hang on to win 3-2. RBI chance here for Ryan Braun. Single to center in the fourth inning. Another terrific hitter with runners in scoring position, a .485 clip coming into this game for Braun. We'll see what he does in a situation he is in right now. One out and a runner at third.
They're kind of halfway on the left side. They're back on the right side. So something hit to the right side is going to score a run. Big hole between first and second, and Braun can use that effectively.
Here's the 0-1 pitch.
A lot of changeups to Braun. I think Braun, he's seen just about every one of the pitches he's seen today has been a changeup. I think he threw a fastball once.
One and one the count. VR at third, Gennett at first. Best chance here for the Brewers since the first inning to get a run across against Shields. Ryan with 27 RBIs at the moment.
Another one.
Yeah, he's just not going to give him a fastball here. 1-2.
Well, if he does, it might be in and off the plate here to see if Ryan will chase it. But yet another changeup down in the dirt.
Ryan at least trying to get a fly ball that could score VR. A ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes.
There's your fastball.
Yeah, it was. Just able to fight it off there was Braun. Good scoring opportunity here for Milwaukee. Trying to at least tie the game. There's VR, who represents the tying run. The 1-2. And it continues. Hitting streak for Brawny extends to 12 tonight. That single his last at bat. Shields, call him Big Game James. Ready again with a 1-2. A dialed in hitter. Back toward his final games last season to what he's done so far early in 2016.
Yeah, these are the matchups that you come to the ballpark to see. A red hot hitter and a pitcher that's been throwing the baseball well. Last pitch a changeup after 2 fastballs.
2-2. Sharply hit to third. They'll get one. Perella the turn, and that's a double play. Wallace, Perella to Myers. Around the horn they go. Second double play the Brewers have hit into. We are through 6 And the Padres keep the Brewers off the board. It's 1-0 San Diego. San Diego moving to the 7th inning. Here is tonight's cricket. Something to smile about. In this 1-1 game at Miller Park, Jimmy Nelson has been very, very good. Brewers starters have been good of late. Jimmy Nelson, no exception here tonight.
Yeah, scattering 4 hits. He's got 4 strikeouts, has not walked a batter, and the only run that he allowed was a single to Justin Upton, or I should say beat Melvin Upton. I'll get it right. I start that over. Melvin Upton on a 2-strike slider that stayed up in the strike zone. Melvin Upton Jr.
There you go.
Boy, player to be named later.
That guy. I've only called the Brewers the Badgers. I don't know how many times, maybe 2 or 3 over the course of these last few weeks. So you're allowed.
Yeah, plus we got in about 2:30 last night, right?
Yeah. So what other excuses can we
come up with a few? Yeah.
Here's the 1-1 to Melvin Upton Jr. By the way, it's nice to bump into Scott Kuykendall. There's all kinds of duties at Marquette University and Golden Eagles athletics. So. Yeah, I do kind of like to see Marquette do well. Scott's a great guy, very helpful in his role at Marquette.
You know a few people. I mean, it's been impressive, you know, the number of people that have run in and out of this booth in the absence of BA.
It does, yeah, not nearly as many who come in when you know, BA, who will be back in this chair on Saturday, by the way, which we all look forward to that. BA back from his basketball duties. But yeah, it was kind of fun. Before the draft, Joel Stavi was up, say hello. That was cool.
Yeah.
Joel, a Minnesota Viking now, a free agent contract with the Purple. A few other folks stopping by. It was good. 3-2 to Melvin Upton. And this is lofted into right field. That's going to be trouble. Santana going back, and he can't get it. They call it a foul ball.
Nope, double.
Or sorry, double. Okay, I thought the hands were up. I thought I saw him point foul, but that is a ground rule double.
Right into our pre and post game set out there.
Yes, sir. Just curled inside that line down the right field line. A ground rule double for Melvin Upton Jr.
Yeah, he hit that one pretty well down the line. You can see it about 3 feet in fair territory. Bounces out of field of play, and you know, Upton having a pretty good night. Couple of hits.
And Rock will be back in that location along with Craig Kushon, Brewers Live post game.
Yeah, filling in for Davey, a little bit under the weather tonight. And And we're hoping that Davey's back at the ballpark tomorrow.
There's Bethencourt, a liner to right. Tough play. Santana, the sliding catch for the out. Tagging is Upton Jr., and he'll get the third, but a nice catch by Domingo Santana out and right.
They got a good jump on it and able to make the play. Upton able to get to third base.
And the divots.
Yeah, that's a big run out of third base. I mean, the way James Shields is pitching. You can see Santana getting a good jump on it, able to get it, and Upton with good speed, able to get the third with less than 2 outs.
That uniform nice and dirty now. They're going to appeal over at second to no avail. Trying to see if Melvin Upton left a little early.
Well, they got to put the ball in play. Jimmy Nelson's got to go on the mound. He's got to step off and throw to second. Nope.
So he will work against Alexi Ramirez, and the infield is in. 1-run game, and Upton the runner at third. Ramirez 1 for 2, a fly ball to center, an infield single in the 5th. Big at bat right here. And there is a fly ball hit into left field. Very high fly ball and toward the line. Braun right on the line will make the catch. Runner tags. Braun's throw to the plate. Not in time. Upton is in. Sac fly for Ramirez. It's a 2-0 lead for San Diego.
Yeah, big run right there. And Brony not able to get himself momentum toward home plate because he had to go back into fair territory, and that kind of had him throwing it flat-footed a bit, and you can see Upton able to tag up easily and score. So Melvin Upton having a good night at the ballpark.
Couple of hits for him. 2 men out, base is empty for Jose Pirela. See his night so far, looking for his first hit. And he hits one into left field. Ryan Braun is right there, and that'll do it for the Padres in the 7th, but they pick up another run. Bottom of the 7th we go, 2-0 San Diego. Over the Brewers. Let's check out the Powerball home run count for Milwaukee. And the strength of that series in Cincinnati, the Brewers have 18 long balls here in the month of May. 11 of them coming in that 4-game series last week in Cincinnati. And you see Lucroy going deep. Darren Hill had 3 in one night. A good month so far. It was a quiet series in terms of home runs in Miami, but now we'll see if the Brewers can start to get to James Shields, Lucroy, Carter, and Neuenhuis in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, the Brewers have 39 home runs this year. That's good for 6th best in the NL. Not bad.
Not bad at all. They can hit him in bunches as Lucroy takes a strike. Lucroy with 3. He had a couple in Cincinnati. 3 in the year. He's driven in 13. Had a good road trip. Went 8 for 24. A couple of bombs. Shields ahead quickly at 2 strikes and nothing.
Boy, a lot of off-speed stuff as this game's going on. He threw some fastballs early. He got that in the Brewers' minds, and now it's been a lot of change-ups. You know, one after another. He threw a ton of them to Braun.
Oh-2 pitch. Well, he struck him out swinging. There's out number 1 on strikeout number 7 now for James Shields.
On a changeup. Well, even when you think you're going to be looking for it, you can't wait back. He's got such good arm action on it. Comes out like a fastball, just chokes off the velocity. The baseball comes off the 3 fingers, and he's been able to keep it down for the most part. Has not made a mistake with it.
There's Chris Carter. Hitless in 2 trips. Keep waiting for Shields to make a mistake. This guy obviously can make you pay with those 10 home runs.
He just left that slider down the middle of the plate. Thing is, I mean, you go up there almost looking changeup, right? And you know, because of that, you know, the slider, the fastball becomes very effective. There's another changeup. Changeup's been anywhere between 81 and 84 miles an hour. I mean, you can change speeds on that. The fastball. It's just a typical James Shields night out on the mound.
Facing the Brewers for the first time. They were the one team that Shields had not faced until tonight. He has gone up against all of them in the big leagues. His last start, he gave up a couple of home runs, one of them to Bartolo Colon. Conversation about what pitchers can do with the bat. With all due respect to Colon's teammate Noah Syndergaard, Colon's bomb tough to top.
Yeah, much more of a story.
Here's how it looked out in San Diego last weekend. Check it out. Oh, a beautiful swing.
Well, fastball way out of there in San Diego on the road, and
the Mets fans there were loving it in San Diego.
Gave him the silent treatment. That's kind of mean.
2-2 pitch to Carter. And did he check? Laz Diaz says he did. Full count now to Carter. So the point is, if Colon can take him deep, you know this guy can. 3-2 pitch. And this is popped up. And will carry out of play.
Yeah, but if you saw that pitch that he threw to Colon, it was a fastball down the middle. He's not been doing that to any of the Brewer hitters.
Yeah, you're right.
Pitches those guys a little bit differently.
It's a game the Mets were able to go on to win. Shields with a 1-5 record coming into this game, but an ERA that doesn't reflect that really at all. 3.60, 3.60 ERA for Shields coming into the game. Getting ready for the 3-2 to Chris Carter. And he strikes him out. That's 8 of them now. Back-to-back punch outs here in the 7th.
Hey, that brings us to tonight's time of the game winner. It's Norm's and Rothschild over there by Walsall.
Nice.
You knew that.
Yeah.
If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
And there you see Shields with the 8 strikeouts. Again, a mix. A couple of them looking. The Brewers with their patience at the plate. That can happen to this team, but a couple of them swinging here in the inning. Trying to be aggressive against him when they can, but Shields on his game so far tonight.
And I would say that, you know, most of those strikeouts coming on the changeup. You got Scooter Gennett in the 3rd inning on a cut fastball that caught the outside corner. And the other called strike 3 was Jimmy Nelson.
Facing Kurt Neuenhuis, who has singled against him twice. Once to center, once to right. His average based on the 2-for-2 bumps up to 271. Two 1 pitch. And almost got him. Able to skip out of the way.
It's instinct to get out of the way. You don't want a baseball to hit you, but it's going to hit you. It's a pretty good spot to get hit, right on the top of the foot.
Didn't miss by much. Here's 3-1. He draws a walk, so Neuenhuis has reached all 3 plate appearances, 2 hits, and now this walk. And he's the 2-out base runner. Tying run will be coming to the plate.
Yeah, walk and a blast. That sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's an 18-pitch 6th inning, and pitch total at 100. No activity in that bullpen, not yet.
110 is limit so far this season. That was in his last outing, and now a conversation. Darren Bosley, the pitching coach, going out to speak with his starter, James Shields. About the durability of this guy, the 200 innings automatically, plus he has last year led the National League in starts with 33. Led the American League his 2 years in Kansas City. Bullpen activity now as Brandon Maurer getting loose. And here's what Shields has brought to the party here so far tonight. About the 8 strikeouts, getting Santana there, and Gennett looking at Cutter that Rock was talking about.
And the changeup has been impressive. He hasn't made one mistake with that pitch. A couple of double plays. Strike him out, throw him out, and as advertised, James Shields not throwing a lot of fastballs to hit. Most of them to show, and getting most of his work done with the off-speed stuff.
He's facing Aaron Hill. Grounded into a double play his last at bat. And they say he offered up. That's Slas Diaz, a first base umpire. 0-1 to Hill. Seven hits for Milwaukee. A couple of good scoring chances so far in the 1st and in the 6th. Neuenhuis, a 2-out base runner here in inning number 7. And that bounces up there. Good block by Christian Bethancourt.
Yeah, he went a long way to block that one. Yeah, good skills behind home plate. Helps his pitcher out, keeping a man at first base.
24-year-old, originally signed with the Braves back in 08. Traded to the Padres back in December. The ball is strike to Aaron Hill. And they'll carry out a play. Well, the Brewers have faced some very good pitching here in these last few nights. Specifically, Jose Fernandez, Wei and Chen, very good again last night, and James Shields doing what James Shields does. That's keep the score down. Tough to put together a line of base runners against him. 1-2. Slow curve, borderline ethos pitch look like there.
Yeah, 66 miles an hour. Yeah, the Padres offense says, all right, James, here's your 2 runs. This is what we normally get you. Good luck. And it's held up so far.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Strikes out Hill. A 3K inning for James Shields, interrupted by a walk. Through 7, 2-0 San Diego. Jimmy Nelson, very good here for the Crew so far. 7 innings of 5-hit, 2-run baseball. Melvin Upton Jr. with that RBI knock in the 4th inning. James Shields, though, even better tonight. 7 hits, but no runs through 7 innings. And look at that, 9 strikeouts compared to just 1 walk. The night has ended for James Shields. It will continue for Jimmy Nelson. Alex Dickerson now into pinch hit. And first pitch swing and a chance for Scooter Gennett. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 8th.
I would imagine the Brewers offense just delighted that James Shields is gone. Anybody but him has got to be better. Shields gave up 7 hits, all singles tonight.
Another good night's work for the veteran. Big game James, they call him. Top of the order, John Jay. Former St. Louis Cardinal. Traded for Jed Jerko over the offseason. The role for him was diminishing in St. Louis. Appeared in 79 games a year ago, but had just 1 at-bat in the postseason for the Cardinals.
Had some injury problems last year.
Yes.
Giving opportunities for guys like Piscotty and Grichuk.
They also had Jason Hayward, and the feeling was they were going to be able to re-sign him in St. Louis, and obviously that was not the case. Now a Chicago Cub. Two balls, 1 strike. Nelson versus Jay. A little check swing and a foul ball. Jay had some productive years, to be sure. St. Louis.
Pretty good outfielder. Ran him down pretty well. Didn't play very deep and seemed to always be able to go back on baseballs. He had a big outfield to deal with there and an even bigger one in San Diego.
2-2 pitch. And the count runs full on Jay. Padres with a run in the 4th and a run in the 7th. They have but 5 hits. 2 runs, the only 2 of the game so far. The payoff into the seats. Fritz is fired up.
Nice catch.
And again, a 3-2 pitch coming up. Nelson versus John Jay. And he missed. And Jay with a 1-out walk here in the 8th.
Hey, it's Star Wars Day at Miller Park on Saturday, June 11th. Fans who purchase a special Star Wars Day ticket package will get a Stormin' Gorman Stormtrooper bobblehead. For tickets, go to brewers.com/theme nights. So I did a lot better job with that tonight than I did last night.
You did. Your bounce back ability
Yeah.
is quite good.
Stormin' Gorman Stormtrooper bobblehead.
You bounce back far better than I do.
That wore me out yesterday.
Too. I know.
Yeah.
But you only had to say customizable one time in a road trip.
Yeah, they took it out.
Nice. Will Myers, the hitter, and little check swing. Jay was on the move there.
I think those that write those up know that there's no way I'm able to pull that off 2 times.
Myers, a base hit, scored a run in the 4th inning. First run of the game came in on the sac fly from Melvin Upton. Michael Kirkman, the left-hander, and Blaine Boyer out of that Brewers bullpen getting loose. Kirkman made his debut as a Brewer in the series down in Miami. The Milwaukee bullpen has been just terrific, especially of late. 1.35 ERA over the last half-dozen games. And a swing and a miss, and down goes Will Myers for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, good slider. He's had a good one tonight. He hadn't thrown too many changeups, or I should say curveballs or changeups, and the slider's been the pitch tonight. And you see the spin, the rotation, and it stayed up in the strike zone, but it was the speed that got him that time.
This represents the deepest that any Brewers starter has gone this season. 7 2/3 here for Jimmy Nelson. Went 7 1/3 first start of the year against the Giants. Here's Matt Kemp. Sharp grounded to VR. Gobbles it up. Blitz to Jeanette. And that'll do it for the Padres here in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th we go. Let's see if the Brewers can get something started. Down 2-0.
Nelson, what a gem he has tossed here for the Brewers. 93 pitches through 8. His spots due up in the batting order, though, as the Brewers trail in this game 2-0. And Jimmy Nelson has already lost a 2-1 decision. That was the first outing of the season for Jimmy Nelson. We'll see what the Brewer bats can do to get that one back perhaps tonight. We shall see. We'll cover it all here from Craig Counsell. Rock's going to join me, as well as Sophia, and we'll hear from the Brewer bench as well. So we've got lots coming up. Brewers Live postgame following the ball game. Let's send it back to Matt and Rock.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Travis Jankowski in the lineup now for San Diego in right field, and Brandon Maurer on in relief of James Shields.
Yeah, this San Diego pitching staff has been very good this year. A .411 earned run average coming into tonight. 18th appearance for him.
Alex Presley to pinch hit.
But again, I think anybody other than James Shields has to be looking good to that Brewers offense.
Yeah, Shields was outstanding. 7 innings of 7-hit shutout baseball, 9 strikeouts. Maurer brings one in there at 94, but misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Let's see what Presley has done. And he's done a fair amount, to say the least, since being called up. And he is 3 for 5 as a pinch hitter, including a home run. Has 3 of those in his career, 3 pinch hit home runs. Maurer, 25 years old, Southern California native.
Yeah, big guy, 6'5", 230. Had some time with the Mariners. Second year with the Padres.
Drafted by Seattle in 2008 as Presley takes strike 2 cold. Full count now to Alex Presley. So Andy Green turns it over to his bullpen after another strong outing from James Shields. Payoff pitch to Presley, and he strikes him out swinging. 1 out here in the 8th.
Yeah, he's got, the Brewers have to lay off that high fastball, 96. That last fastball. That fastball slider. Yeah, Presley had to count in his favor, 3-1, but Maurer able to get him right at the top of the strike zone, right underneath.
Mentioned Maurer, drafted by the Mariners, traded back in December of 2014. Exchanged for Seth Smith. It's a strikeout to start the home half of the 8th, and here's Jonathan Villar, who looks at a strike. Slider gets in there. One and one the count. Seven hits for Milwaukee. Nothing to show for it so far. Villar single to left back in the 6th. A ground out in the 3rd. Mid-90s fastball to even the count, 2-2.
Yeah, that look inside. Man, Villar didn't like that call. You don't see him react too much. Well, it looked pretty good though. Yep, it was on the plate.
2-2 pitch. Got Betancourt. So Jeff Nelson, the home plate umpire, the crew chief, will buy Nelson or Betancourt a little time.
Right on the shoulder. Right on the side of the arm, up by the shoulder. And that fastball right down the middle. Guy's got good stuff. He throws hard.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Little bouncing ball over the mound. That's Ramirez. Cannot make the play. Infield single for Jonathan Villar, his second hit of the night.
Yeah, even if Ramirez is able to get that baseball, he's not going to throw Villar out. Well, so the tying run comes to the plate. Top of the order coming up. Yeah, bounced it right in front of the plate over the head of Mauer, and that's a base hit, regardless of what Ramirez does with it.
One out, one on here in the eighth for the Brewers. Here's Domingo Santana. Singled his first at bat and has struck out twice. Fastball for strike one. Mauer has started some, or he did for a couple of years. Spot starts for the Mariners. Strictly a reliever for San Diego. 53 appearances last year, and this is his 18th this season. An even 3 earned run average a year ago for the Padres.
Yeah, you got to be careful stealing bases in this situation. I mean, your run doesn't mean a whole lot. You're more valuable at first to allow one of these guys to hit one out of the ballpark. No outs on the bases in this situation.
And Santana, a liner that's caught by Ramirez for out number 2.
A little different with the bottom of the order up.
Two men out, and here's Scooter Gennett. His first game back with the Brewers, coming off the disabled list, and he is picking up where he left off prior to going on the DL. A couple of hits tonight and 3 at bats. You see, he has shown a little pop with the bat. He takes a fastball upstairs. Infield single from Villar. He's the 2-out base runner here for Milwaukee in the bottom of the 8th.
He's got a change up too. Just threw one to Scooter.
You say that's his big swing and miss pitch. Part of the book on him.
Fastball, slider, change up.
2-0 pitch.
They're playing with fire here now. You got Ryan Braun coming up.
Maybe he'll get that opportunity with 2 men on. Let's see. 3-0 the count to Gennett. Waves at it, doesn't get it. He has drawn 10 walks this season, has Gennett, after drawing 12 all of last year. Three-1. Cut and a miss.
And trying to hit one out.
So Mauer battling back from 3-0 to 3-2. Two men out. Villar on the move, and that is ball 4. Good take by Gennett, and the Brewers have him at first and second. A decision maybe for Andy Green as Ryan Braun getting ready to step in. Well, here's what you want. One of those reasons you come to the ballpark for moments like this. Down 2, 2 on. One of your big guns strolling to the plates in the later innings.
He does have the changeup, and that was the pitch that James Shields used very effectively against Brawny tonight. Gotta believe he's going to get a fastball to hit.
We'll see the big numbers for Braun so far this season. 379 average.
Yeah, nothing doing in that Padres bullpen. This is Mauer's inning.
Their closer, by the way, Fernando Rodney, pitched both ends of the doubleheader last night, picked up 2 saves. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Here's Braun with 2 outs and 2 on in the 8th. And that misses. There you see someone with a flair for the dramatic, and those numbers illustrated. Here's the 1-0. Good cut.
That was it.
Give it again. Give it to him again.
And 96 though, and able to get it by Braun. He'd like to have that one back. I mean, he doesn't make too many facial expressions, but he did that time. Looking fastball, getting fastball, just fouled it straight back.
1-1 the count to the Brewers left fielder. Villar at second, Jeanette at first. Mauer with a 1-1. And that's in there for strike 2 call.
Yeah, perfect pitch.
Let's see if he comes with the changeup here. The 1-2. Yeah, a little chopper over to third, and the play at second. Wallace to Perella, and that'll do it for the Brewers. They strand a couple, and it's still 2-0 San Diego. As we move to the top of the 9th here at Miller Park. A stream the Brewers on the go. Stop by the Fox Sports Go booth on Saturday, May 14th, this Saturday, when the Brewers take on the Padres. Download the app, get a free prize. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com and click on upcoming events for details. First game of the homestand here for the Crew, and on now after a very strong outing from Jimmy Nelson. Tyler Thornburg steps in.
Yeah, Thornburg has been very good. It's really been one bad outing. He gave up 4 runs in an outing on the last homestand. And Thornburg in appearance number 14 at 485 earned run average. And last pitch on Sunday tossed a perfect inning, a couple of strikeouts. And as we mentioned, he's been unscored upon in 11 of 13 appearances this year.
A strikeout machine is Tyler Thornburg, as he will face Brett Wallace, who has struck out a couple of times and popped up as well. So Jimmy Nelson works 8 strong innings, 5 hits, allows a couple of runs, no walks, strikes out 5. Two balls, no strikes.
Yeah, can't ask much more out of Jimmy than he gave the Brewers tonight. I mean, he kept the Padres off the board until the 4th inning. And that's kind of what we were saying when the game started. You can't give James Shields too much of a cushion, and he didn't.
3-0 the count to Wallace, the third baseman. A run in the fourth, a run in the seventh. That has been it. Thought this had the makings of a good pitching matchup, and it has been just that. Full count now to Wallace. Four, 5, and 6 hitters in the order for San Diego. Here's the payoff. Got him swinging. Out number 1 in the 9th.
Yeah, there are times when Tyler Thornburg makes it look very easy. I mean, it's not at all, but just the way he rocks back and throws that fastball, pretty straight fastball, and gets it right by a pretty good fastball hitter. And Brad Wallace. Wallace had the count in his favor, 3-1, and Thornburg able to come back to get him.
1 out, and here's Melvin Upton Jr. He has been a tough out here tonight after striking out in the second, and a big factor in the Padres having his 2-0 lead. RBI single in the fourth, doubled and scored in the seventh. 0-1 pitch. Bumped his average up to 261 tonight as Upton. Swings and sends one in the left center field, and that is gone. Melvin Upton Jr. having a night. Solo homer. It's 3-0 San Diego.
They got the fastball down, and when it's down there, it's a little bit easier to get to, but a big night for Melvin Upton Jr. Man, watch the way he turns on his fastball down in the strike zone, down and in, and gets good wood on it. Nice easy swing, and jumps off his bat out of here. That's a big run. 3-0 now.
Here's Christian Bethancourt. He's going after the first pitch, and that's out of play down the line, and he smacked it. Bethancourt came in early in this game. Derek Norris was the starting catcher, but Norris was hit by a pitch in the top of the second inning and did not come out for the bottom half of that inning. It's been Bethancourt ever since, and there's a fly ball hit back into right field. Santana, edge of the track for out number 2. A 3-hit night for Melvin Upton Jr. A single, a double, and a homer. That's the player that sure the Braves thought they were going to get, and it didn't turn out that way.
No, very disappointing in Atlanta.
Here's Alexi Ramirez.
It was such a struggle for him in Atlanta. He changed his first name. Actually didn't change it. He went with his given name. It wasn't BJ anymore.
Right. This Melvin thing working out for him, at least tonight. Hit 259 last year for the Padres. 87 games. One and two the count. The former Chicago White Sox shortstop Alexi Ramirez. 1-2 pitch, and that is down the line, a fair ball. Ramirez turning first, and he'll have the double. A 2-out double for Alexi Ramirez, and that's his second hit of the night.
Yeah, Padres getting good wood on the Thornburg fastball right after the Wallace strikeout. And right after I said sometimes Thornburg makes it look pretty easy, they're starting to make some pretty good contact. Pitch up. You can see Ramirez able to get on top of that pitch up in the strike zone and just tuck it inside that first baseline.
Jose Pirela with another chance. Former Yankee. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out in the third, a fly ball to right in the fifth, and a liner to left in the seventh. The Padres with single runs in innings 4, 7, and 9 to get to this 3-0 lead. 0-2 the count. Brewers will have their 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up in the bottom half of this inning. Thornburg with the 0-2. And Lucroy will block it.
Nice block, tough pitch. And watch how far in front of home plate this ends up, and Lucroy able to square the shoulders and keep it close.
1-2 the count. Missing inside with that fastball. Pirela originally signed with the Yankees back in 2006. Starting for the 4th straight game here for San Diego. Count holds 2 balls, 2 strikes. Made his big league debut, did Pirela, in 2014. A handful of games. Appeared in 37 games last year with the Yankees, mostly in the minor leagues. A run here in the 9th for the Padres. A Melvin Upton Jr. homer to left center. Ramirez, the runner at second after a 2-out double. And the count now full on Pirela.
Tyler having a difficult time with his off-speed pitch. Change up, curveball. That's why the Padres have been able to get the bat head out on his fastball tonight.
3-2 pitch coming. Struck him out swinging. Thornburg battles through it, but the Padres put another run on the board. Courtesy of Melvin Upton Jr. with his solo homer. Brewers have work to do. Bottom of the 9th, down 3-0. 3-0 Padres here, bottom of the ninth. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the nights with luxury. The Brewers need to go to work in a big way in the ninth inning. Adam Rosales now in the game for San Diego at third base. And on the mound, we mentioned their normal closer, Fernando Rodney, worked both ends of the doubleheader yesterday. So Ryan Buchter, a left-hander, will get the call here in the ninth for San Diego.
Yeah, not a bad option. A .57 earned run average. That's fourth best in all of baseball. 17th appearance for him tonight.
He will face Jonathan Lucroy. 4, 5, and 6 for Milwaukee. Lucroy looking for his first hit. Facing a pitcher who has worked 13 straight scoreless innings. The left-hander, Ryan Buchter. James Shields went the first 7. Brandon Maurer the 8th. Lucroy down 0-2 here to start the ninth.
Yeah, pretty good fastball, pretty straight over the top at 94. Another big kid out there in the mound for the Padres.
29 years old, 6'4". They list him at 250. He was a later round draft choice of the Washington Nationals back in 2005. Did not make his big league debut until a couple of years ago for the Braves, and that was just a one outing deal. And now with the Padres, 17th time out there this season. 2-2 the count.
That's all well and good, but you know, 7th, 8th inning is one thing, but closing games out is a different animal altogether. Some guys just can't get a grasp of that, and let's see how he fares here tonight.
Yeah, for him, his next save will be his first this level, and there's Lucroy, a soft liner, and that's snagged by Ramirez for out number 1. Let's check out Miller Lite's what's on tap. Junior Guerra, who's been pretty good in his first 2 starts as a Brewer. Now, Andrew Kashner is listed. He may get bumped to Saturday. He's had a hamstring issue, but nonetheless, we know Guerra is going to go tomorrow, and we know our coverage will start at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. That ERA is what it is, but he's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's got a good arm. And slider change up. Yeah, again, is what we were talking about. 3 pitchers, 3 starters for the Brewers can get it over about 95 miles an hour.
Found out right away that Guerra is one of them. And here's Chris Carter. Guerra working for the 3rd time around now as a Brewer. See him tomorrow night in game 2 of this 4-game series. 2-1 the count to Carter. This might be the first time that you could say he is scuffling. The 0 for 3 tonight. 0 for his last 16. We've seen him turning around in a big hurry.
Yeah, he's been very consistent. You're right. I mean, this is one of those spells right now that we haven't seen this year. It's not like he's swinging out of the strike zone either. I mean, he is swinging at strikes. He's just at times having a difficult time making contact.
Swing and a miss there, and 2 up, 2 down in the ninth.
And that was out of the strike zone. That was a little bit high, but a tough pitch to lay off of. Those upper low 90s fastballs, difficult to catch up to up there, up above the belt.
Hernan Perez will pinch hit for Kirk Neuenhuis here in the 9th inning. One of those players who has performed well since coming up to the big club. Hernan Perez certainly one of those. Since coming up in late April from Colorado Springs. Big night a couple of nights ago in Miami. A ball, a strike.
And you might see a little bit more playing time now that Yadiel Rivera has been sent down to the minor leagues. Of course, Scooter Gennett's back. The infield is going to be relatively consistent.
A ball, a strike to Perez. And this is hit in the air, shallow left center field, and a long run. It'll be Upton making the catch as he and Jay brush each other, but the catch is made and the game is over. As Buchter gets his first big league save, a 1-2-3 ninth as the